Hey, 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 hey. Welcome, everyone. Let's get everyone settled in. Hope you all are doing well. I need a nice little filter. Hey, Cass. Hey, everyone. Cherie's in the building. We have Kim in the building. Let me see. Okay, IG feels like being a little weird. Okay, come on up. Let me request you, Kim. Cherie?
Hello.
What's up? Hey y'all, how's everyone doing?
Hey.
Thank you, boo. Hey Kim,
Hi.
Hey,
how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Good. It feels so good to talk to you. We
I
always see each
know.
other in passing on social media. Oh, thank you for
Oh,
joining us today.
thank you for inviting me.
Of course. We'll wait some time. Everybody's coming in. Hey everyone, let us know where you're from. Drop some emojis. How are you feeling this evening? We're about to get into a really good show. Okay.
I love your hair, Cherie.
Thank you, Kim.
It's so pretty.
I like to switch it up.
Yeah.
All right, I think we could go ahead and tap in. We got about 30 people in here.
Okay, good crowd. Okay, so yeah, let's go ahead and get started. So before I just want to say thank you all for joining us. This is our third edition of the Bloggers View. Um, Special guest who we love, Kim from Work Slay Play.
Hey.
Before we officially
Drop
get
some
started.
claps, some clap emojis. Welcome, Kim. She's our first guest. She's our first guest that we've had on the show. Okay.
Yes. But before we officially get started, I do just want to do a quick round of introductions because I know some of you may not know who we are. So I'll start. My name is Cherie. I'm the person behind the CB2 Styles page. I post all things style and will eventually be venturing out to post lifestyle, travel content, and home content. So stay tuned. So now I will throw it over to you, Key.
Hey guys, if you don't know me, I am Kiara Holt of Holt Consult Style. I am your style and feel good provider. I am the creator of Tap Into Some Good affirmation cards and one half of an awesome podcast called I'll Have a Cup. Kim, we welcome you. Let us know who you are.
Thank you. Thank you again for having me. So my name is Kim, and I run a page called Work Slay Play. Hopefully the name kind of speaks for itself. I kind of feel like as we work and we play, we should always be slaying, and that's that's what I try to show on the page. And I'll definitely be getting into a little bit more of travel, lifestyle, and work stuff. You know, now that we're kind of coming out of the pandemic. And I don't have to be stuck in the house just showing the fashions. So there will be kind of more of an expanded interest on the page as we continue on into the year. So that is me in a nutshell.
Love it. Thank you. So we want to start off with, I know Cherie, you want to jump into some questions about learning more about you, Kim, because we always see each other on social media, but we have a few questions that we just want to tap into you and have the audience learn about your brand and who you are.
Sure, absolutely. So what are we starting with?
You go first, Key.
All right, cool. So let's tap into, first of all, the name. I remember when I came across your page and I was like, Work Slay Play, like that was very well thought out and very well curated. What was how did you get into your realm of just fashion? Because I know by day you are a
Attorney. Mm-hmm.
attorney. Okay. So then how did your love of fashion come about?
Quite frankly, it has always been kind of a first place, you know, in terms of my interests and things that I've been into. If I had to do life all over again in terms of my training and schooling, I probably would have gone to design or merchandising school, fashion school, because that's just always been my first love. I've always been into style, fashion. I mean, as a child, I would remember walking into someone's home and most kids are looking for where the playroom is, and I'm like admiring the house, you know, and it's like, who does that at 8 or 9 years old, right? And so that is kind of really where the root of it was for me. And so throughout the years, I've just always been into style, and how I present myself and how I dress has always been very important to me. I know a lot of people do it for that kind of outside recognition, but for me, I just feel good when I dress in what I feel like is a good way. So every piece that I put on me, I think about, because I'm just very much into it. I want to feel good in how I present myself. And so that has always been first place for me. And as we've gotten into social media, I just really was so excited by influencers and content creators, and followed all of the big names that we know now and just admired what they did. And I just always said, wow, I really wish I could get into that, but I don't have the time. So just, it really was admiring from a distance until we got into the pandemic. And it was like, I'm at home, I'm working, yes, but I have spurts of time where I could do other things. And so I just pulled, up the camera and started taking pictures, and putting it out there and seeing what could happen. And, thankfully friends and family were very supportive of it. They came out and liked the picture, even if they didn't like the outfit. And I appreciate that. They were just very encouraging. And, and my husband has been my number one fan and was just like, just keep doing it. I see that it's something that you love. And that has been the basis of his support in it for me, is that he sees that I light up when I do this. And so that has been like what brought me to it. I really enjoy this. It's not about vanity or competition for me. I have so much fun doing this. And so that's why I continue. I promise you, if this was not fun, you wouldn't see me here. So that is why I dedicate so much kind of away from, not away from my family, but the time that I do have that is mine, I use it. So that's kind of that's what got me to this place. Honestly, the name just resonated. Like, I wanted something that didn't involve like my name, per se. And that just stuck with me. Like, I don't want it to be just about fashion, because, like, I travel, I have a lifestyle outside of just my clothes. So I felt like Work, Slay, Play really just, kind of brought it together, even though the page isn't necessarily doing that right now, but eventually it will.
I love it. How would you define your personal style?
My personal style, gosh, it's always evolving for us, right? But I would call it classy, elegant, slightly conservative with a trendy edge.
Yes, yes to all of it. I love that. Yes.
Probably altogether it doesn't make a ton of sense, but I think if you look at my pictures and my videos, it might make some sense. And that's just me, but I completely just really admire all the different trends and the fashions that the girls are bringing. And you can appreciate what other people do with their style if it's not even yours. You know what I mean? I think that, like, I can sit back and like, she is killing it. You know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't wear it, but she's wearing it. You know what I mean?
Yes, that is all you, boo. Go ahead and rock it.
So that makes me think. So since we're on the topic of how you define your personal style, Kim, tell us what you're wearing today and how people can purchase the items that you wear, because I look at your page all the time and I'm like, I like that. Let me head to that link real quick. So just tell us what you wear today and how we can find it.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Wear really.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for asking. So what I'm wearing today, my signature pixie cut. It feels like it gets shorter by the day. My daughter's like, are you just going to come home bald one day, mommy? And I'm like, I don't know, I might. My glasses are by Jacques Marie Mage. They make a very limited amount of each pair of glasses that they put out, like from Japan or something. So, these are a couple years old, so you wouldn't necessarily find it unless somebody's reselling it. So if you are interested and you're watching, reach out to me and I'll try to send you a style number, but it's not something I can link. The necklace is by Ann and Joseph. It's a company run by my sister, and she sources authentic charms and pieces. So you can see the Chanel on this piece. It is authentic, and it was taken off, I believe, a bag charm. And then she purchases freshwater pearls and gold-filled connectors and makes the jewelry. So something that might have cost someone $3,000, able to get for a fraction of that price. And you can see this one actually kind of twists around.
That is such a fun fact. I never knew your sister was a designer. That is so bomb.
Yep, she is. Yeah, I don't necessarily put that out there as much because I don't want people to think that that's the only reason that I wear it, because it's not. I purchase a lot of my pieces. I know people might think, oh, well, she's just giving you all that stuff. She's not. Like, I purchase a good amount of the pieces that you see me wear. So this is me being very authentic about what I like, and my sister happens to own the company. So and then this is by a company called Sequin Jewelry, and it's all linked in my link tree in my bio on Instagram. And then this is an old H&M dress. I'm all about restyling the pieces that we have. So yeah, on my third summer with this dress, still love it.
I love that.
I have some pieces from your sister as well, so I love her stuff too.
Good.
So I guess we'll just head on to the next question. Key, you want to ask, or you want me to go ahead?
You can go ahead. You can go for it.
So what is your most coveted item in your closet?
Oh, wow. That's a good one. This is going to sound so typical and cliche, but it's just true. So the Birkin bag. I mean, I know it's like, okay, like anybody would say that, but quite honestly, when you get your hands on one and you touch it and you feel it and you hold, like, it's in a class of its own. It's not about, for me, what celebrity has it and, everybody wants one. Like, that wasn't the driver for me. That's why it took so long to have one. Because I was like, you know what, I need to see what the big deal is. Like, the name itself isn't going to do that cost for me. And so once I felt it and touched it, and I was like, I get it now. I get it. Like,
got that feeling.
It's special. So that's probably, if you're saying coveted, that would be the one thing I would say I enjoy, just even looking at it in the closet. I feel good, but I honestly, like, I don't wear it a ton. It's a part of it too. It's like, I feel like when I go out with it, it attracts some attention, and you don't necessarily, for me, that's not necessarily the attention. You know what I mean? Like, people are giving you that, like, oh, she probably spent an arm and a leg, and I did. But, it's like, I want to just, enjoy the piece. So that's actually part of the reason why I don't wear it that much. So it's a tug of war for me with that bag, but I would say it's my coveted piece.
Special occasions only. Special occasions only.
Yeah.
I just want to reset the room real quick. Welcome everyone to the Blogger's View. If you have any questions at all, please ask away. We have Slay Play.
Yes.
Here, Kim, representing Baltimore. Hold on.
Whoop, whoop.
And also Guyana. Guyana's in the house.
That too. Whoop,
West
whoop.
Indian, let's go. The Caribbeans are in the house. And we are just vibing out. So again, if you have any questions at all, we're going to tap into the topics, because last time, Kim, you were giving us all the juice. Like, you were in the convo. We felt like you were on stage with us. And before we continue, we have to say, show some love and drop some hearts for T Styled It. She is our co-host as well. She is sick right now. So we send her so much love. We miss you, T. She'll be on for the next episode.
Feel better.
GT massive. Feel better, T. We miss you. We'll definitely see you on the next session. Let's tap into it.
Someone asked, are we saving this live? Yes, we are.
Yes. It'll be under my IGTV Live, where we can find the past 2 episodes. If y'all haven't seen it, the Blogger's View, we are on our 3rd one. And we are moving and grooving. This is fun.
It always is a lot of fun.
Yeah. I feel like there were more conversations during the pandemic when it hit, but it's kind of like you're seeing less of them now. And I think it's a great way for just bloggers to just content creators to just come together. If anything comes to mind, ask questions and talk about different topics, things that are going on in this world.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So Kim, question for you. I'm sorry, Sheree, were you gonna say something?
Oh no, go ahead.
Okay. I'm going blank. Sorry.
Travel.
It's okay.
So I'll jump in
Go
while
ahead.
Kim's gathering herself. Okay, so this summer everyone is outside. The pandemic is not over. I just want to clarify that for a lot of people who think it's over. It's not over, but we are traveling this summer. We're just traveling safely. Okay, or at least trying to travel safely. So, with that being said, just wanted to, talk about all the places that you may be going this summer, your favorite places that you've traveled to in the past, um, any places that are kind of like on your bucket list for the future.
Yeah. So places I've been that I really, obviously, I'm not going to say Guyana. I can't not say Guyana because that's where I'm from. But my husband also has West Indian roots. So we really love going to Barbados. That's like one of our most favorite travel destinations. We were married there. And it's just I don't know, I feel like when we go there, like my blood pressure just, like I just relaxed and the air is fresh and the people are nice and the food is good and the music, the vibes, it's just like, that's the go-to, if we decide we want to go somewhere quick and we don't want to think about it, like that's where we would go. Where else have I been? I've been to Nigeria a few times. I went a few times as a young adult, and I actually really like, you have to have a curated experience. You need to have the kind of experience that I did. You have to know people there. You have to be kind of, ushered through your experience. I don't know that I would suggest people just get on a plane and let's see how things are. I wouldn't do it. But I had an amazing time all the times that I went. And so I really did enjoy my experience there. What else would I say that I've already been to? France. I really enjoyed France. Pretty much everything. Italy, France. Like I did that for my 30th birthday and had a blast, and really looking forward to going back. Where I would like to go, Ghana is top on the list. I think a lot of people are going there and having amazing trips, and my sister is now there, so I definitely want to make a trip to Ghana soon. We have Malta on our list of places to go in the south of France, and it looks really gorgeous, but I hear, like your coins need to be together when you go there. The way that we like to travel and, knowing what we would want to do, got to make sure that one is, together.
You know how you like to spend your time.
Right. I like to stay in nice places. And usually when we go to places, we stay in villas. And so like, I would want that type of experience as well. So, I don't want to go somewhere just to go. I want to have the experience that I'm accustomed to having when I go places. So if it takes a little bit more time, that's fine too.
As you should. I love that. There's some questions coming in for you. The first one is Josie.Ken. She said, I see that you are a mommy, attorney, and into style. What made you start an Insta page, being that you must be so busy? Love your style, by the way.
Thank you, Hannah. What made me start, I mentioned earlier, is that it's just a first love for me, style, not just fashion and whatever's being pumped out as the latest trend in style. I'm just very into personal style. Like I said, somebody can have a completely opposite palette for me in terms of what they like with their style, but I can appreciate every piece that they put together. And that's just like, that's what my eye goes to, is like, what did this person put together? Not the name brand. It might be a name brand and I can appreciate it for that, but it's the way that people put things together that I'm very much into. So it's just a passion, and Instagram has provided a way to really dive into that. And then to meet your people, to meet people who are like-minded. So that's what made me decide to just go ahead and jump in, because everybody else was having too much fun. I'm like, I got to get in on this.
You got to tap into it. I love that. C10 Walker said, what have been your greatest challenges in your influencing journey, if any, since the start of the pandemic? What has
Since the
been, yeah.
start of the pandemic, I think what was difficult for me was finding, I guess, the content that I was most comfortable doing. When you're new, you kind of want to model after people who have been successful. You want to kind of
Yes.
do a little bit of what everybody's doing to see if it works for you, to see what makes you comfortable. And so I tried a little bit of that, and some things just don't work because it's not you, you know? So I got with a photographer who I absolutely love, Pablo, and he's amazing. And I feel like his style of photography matches my style. You know what? Like, I don't know if that's
Mm-hmm.
making sense, but I feel like when
Totally.
I get dressed and I get in front of his camera, like it knows what I needed to see. You know what I mean? And so that was kind of key for me initially, was making sure like I was just getting that right lens out on my page of what I wanted to present. And I think I was able to do that. So that was important for me, was just making sure I was presenting in my mind what I was envisioning was coming
Mm-hmm.
out in my pictures. And then when we started getting into reels, that was very difficult for me because the video component and even being on camera, I don't know what it is about live because we're in our
Mm-hmm.
stories all the time, but there's something about it that just makes you nervous. I don't know what it is.
It's that real life action.
Um,
Like they can really see us. We're not like stopping. Oh, we don't like that. Like
right.
this is raw. This is the real
Right.
deal.
There's no
Yeah.
editing, you know, you're getting it all. So that video was difficult. I was scared. Like, I'm like, what are
Mm-hmm.
people gonna think about my voice? And, you know, do I move weird? Do I sound weird? You know, and I had to get over that. And then, you know, kind of the voiceover stuff has been really funny. And I don't know what it is, but that seems to be what captures new people to my page.
You are killing it, by the way. You are killing it. When I
I
see Kim with her hat, I'm like, there it go. You are killing them.
But there's certain like sounds that just immediately resonate. Like I hear it and I'm like, I agree with that. I believe in that. I'm gonna speak over that voice, male or female. And then I think, you know, just doing something that kind of brings people back to what I'm doing on my page, you know, even with the voiceover, I think the people who are into what I'm doing are the ones who tend to follow. You know, I might get a bunch of likes, you know, I might get some comments, you know, the men are in there, whatever. But the people who are interested in what I'm doing, you know, like kind of what I'm presenting, they hit the follow button and those are my people. So I'm not necessarily concerned with the number in terms of like getting viral, but more so getting in front of more people who are interested in what I'm doing. So
I love that.
that's been the good side of that.
That's a healthy mindset when it comes to social media. And I think a lot of people should definitely tap into that. Like that's a healthy way to look at it because we know the algorithm a lot has just fallen by the wayside, but you are in control of it. It doesn't control you.
Absolutely.
I love that.
And I mean, you don't want, you know, the people on the other side of the world who, you know, want to get with you or whatever. Like that's not my audience. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, you know, they can like and say whatever they want to say, but it's not like for them, you know? So I think as long as we're in our reels and voiceovers and wherever we're doing, we're still showing people like, this is what this page is about. Like I'm showing you what I do here. You know what I mean? So yeah.
When did it click for you that you knew who your target audience was?
I've always been speaking to them because I mean, I feel so, yes, I want my page to grow. But even as brands and people approach me, they see what I'm doing. They are aware of what they're going to get if they decide to work with me. So the people that come to my page, I want them to feel like they're going to consistently get this, you know, when they follow. So from the very beginning, I never wanted just a bunch of people following me who could care less and would never come back to my page to look for me. I want the people who want to be here. So from the beginning, I feel like I've been talking to those people. Those are the people that come to your stories. Those are the people that, you know, will talk to you. Like we have full blown conversations like they've known each other for years in the DMs. Like those are the people that I want to come and that I want to get in front of. So I've never just been talking to the masses. Like I don't want everybody. I want the people who are, you know, and then ultimately as you're doing brand deals and things like that, your people will be interested in what you're doing because they know it, they're connected to it, they understand what's going on here, and they're into it. So, yeah.
Okay, drop some emojis because Kim just gave us some gems. Okay. She is saying, do not chat, chase, attract, and it'll come to you. All right.
And I mean, one more thing on that, like with
Yeah.
brands, speaking to brands, like they want the stats. They want to
Yes.
see how many people are clicking on the links in your stories. They want to see how many conversions of sales of things that are in your like to know it. They want to see the numbers. So you can have 200,000 bots all you want, but when you start diving into your statistics, it's going to be like, okay, well, you've got 200,000 followers, but 2 people bought things from you in the last 30 days. That doesn't work for us. We don't think that you can sell. So you don't want those people who are not here for you, like period, end of story. So if you have 5,000 followers and they're there for you, you've got good numbers, period. And you need to feel confident in that and be okay with that, you know, and continue to grow based on what you're doing, not trying to do what somebody else is doing that may not work for you. So just want to put that out there.
I love that you pinpoint that because we tend to forget, like, yeah, it's about getting dressed and then showing and consuming and showing others, but it is a business side to this. And they do want to see, how can you help my business grow? You know, are you really selling? Are you really doing it, instead of just like, hey, y'all, this is what I have on today? So I love that you definitely highlighted that. Speaking of your brand, let's tap into like expanding, because I think you're at like 50K followers. I mean, you were growing. You were growing, boo. Like,
Thank you.
amazing.
Thank you. I appreciate
How
that.
do you, I would say, are you thinking about like toying with the idea of like creating any products, any ebooks? Like, how does that look for you, like expanding your business and brand?
So I wouldn't say I'm looking at ebooks or like any kind of instructional tools. That's just not necessarily where my interest is right now. If people have questions, I'm always an open book. Like my DMs are open and I talk to people. So I don't think there's anybody that can say I've ignored them unless they needed to be ignored. But, you know, in terms of like expanding the brand, I mean, I am trying to really be committed to more than just this platform. So I'm on TikTok a lot more consistently. And I think the consistent thing with all of these platforms is they want you showing up regularly. What I'm learning with TikTok, like I'm posting there now like 3 times a day. And I feel like they're just starting to reward that. Like people are seeing me, people are showing up, and they're sitting through 2-minute long TikToks. And those are like the ones that are doing the best on my page. So it's learning like what each algorithm likes about you. And like you always say, tapping into that. So I'm giving the people their 2-minute long TikToks and they're loving it.
Love that.
And that's helping me to grow. I don't know if that works for everybody, but when you watch your own kind of statistics, you will see what's working and what's not, and kind of what to tap into and what to kind of maybe not do. So that's one thing I would say. And then honestly, like, and this is a controversial topic in our community, and that's gifting campaigns. So a lot of people like, I don't do that. I'm not working for free. I'm not into it. And honestly, like, how else are brands going to see what you can do as you're starting this out if you don't at least entertain some gifted campaigns? Yeah. And I'm not saying to say yes to everything, because some things are just not going to align with what you do. But I have said yes to lots of gifted campaigns from brands that, you know, like I had never heard of, but I actually liked their product and I'd worn like multiple times after the campaign was over. But it also gave me an opportunity to not just show them what I could do for pay in the future, but also showing other brands, this is what she can produce for a brand. So I don't think it's a cut and dry, I don't work for free, I don't do gifted campaigns. I don't know if that's the right mindset, especially as you're starting out brand new. And, you know, you'll find, and, you know, you can kind of go back and forth with them too. Like I've said to some people, you know, I didn't even really want to work with them anyway, so saying no wasn't hard. And they come back and say, well, what if we give you X amount of dollars? We're a small brand. If we give you a couple $100, will you do a carousel? And then I go back and look at their stuff again. And I'm like, you know what, I could probably work with them, and then I'll do it. And then they come back. Oh my God, that was so amazing. And this, that, and the third. Can we do this again? And this is what we'll offer you. And it's more. So I don't think we should come out the gate and shut the door on potential future opportunities, having this mindset of, I don't do gifted campaigns. So that's another way to, like you were just saying, grow your brand. Is being more open to the possibilities, because you never know what that can snowball into. Another thing I would say is not being bashful about what you're doing. And I know some people may feel like people look down on this, but if you're out in the street and somebody's like, oh my gosh, I love your outfit, don't just leave it at thank you. Like, you know what, girl, I have this page on Instagram and I'm sharing my outfits daily, and, you should come support, or you should come check it out.
Yes.
And you never know who that person. I had this encounter with a woman the other day. Turns out she was a brand marketing executive at a previous. She was like, oh, wow, I'm going to follow you. I might reach out. And that was very random. But, I was very much like, okay, I'm selling myself to anybody who shows me a little bit of interest, come follow me and tell me what you think. And I think we just have to stay in that mindset of you're offering, something of value to people. Yeah. And so don't be bashful or shy about what you're doing here, because it is legit, and billions of dollars being poured into it now. So it's nothing to be ashamed of.
It is a billion-dollar industry. You spoke upon so many questions was coming in my head as you were speaking. So first question, to your point about just receiving free gifts. Do you feel like there's a certain timeline that we should follow? For instance, if you're just starting, I do believe, like, wholeheartedly, the first time you start up, say yes to the free gifts. Say yes, because it's also a form of practicing. Because if you treat, and especially when we're creating reels or anything, in your mind, you should think this is a campaign. I'm in Vogue, honey, when I'm taking the shoot. I don't know. I'm not on it, but I'm on Vogue, okay? Because you can't tell me I'm not. So if you just change your mindset, but do you feel like there's a certain timeline that we should follow, like when we say no or no?
I don't think so. I think you should do what feels right for you, honestly.
Okay.
Actually today I said yes to a gifted campaign because I went through their website and I'm like, these people have underpriced their products. Like, this is some good stuff. Go ahead, send it to me free. I'm happy to take it. And I give you what you've asked for, because I probably would have spent money on this stuff and done it anyway. So when I feel like that, I'll just go ahead and do it. But I think it really has to be something that you just entertain as you continue to go. I mean, 70% of the time I do say no, because I'm not into the product. I'm not going to come out here and try to sell crap because somebody's giving me free stuff. Like, people see right through that. I see right through that, But one thing I will say, like, keep tagging these brands in this stuff that you paid for. Keep tagging them. They'll never comment. Some of the big ones, they won't comment. They won't say a thing. They won't like. I've had, some brands comment and like, and then, something develops from there. But, keep tagging them, because I just had an experience where a brand that I had been tagging for years and has never acknowledged anything reached out to me an email with an offer. And I was like, so you've been watching me, clearly. Wow. Because it wasn't like a few have said, oh, well, I saw your reel and, we thought that you might be able to, represent us well. But this was clearly, for me, it was targeted because I've been tagging you for years now. And then you send me an email like, we would love to work with you. So don't stop tagging them. If they have an account, it's there for a reason. So tag until you are seen and until they come to you. So don't be ashamed about doing that either, because it may seem like it's going nowhere and it's doing nothing, but they see you. They do.
So it's kind of like you have to keep the same IG morals. You got to keep it continue. Like, we're hearing a lot of negativity, and mentally, like, you're just speaking such like from a healthy mindset of social media. And I love that so much, that other content creators can see this, because we do be in our head. We're in our head all of the times, of just like that consistency and tagging, the power of tagging. You feel like they're not watching if they didn't say anything, but It's happened to me. Like some days you'll tag them and they're like hit you in your DM. You're like, oh,
Exactly. Like how? Right.
okay,
Right.
it worked this
Right.
time.
And then using the hashtag, like a lot of brands have hashtags that they are dedicated to.
Yeah.
I know people say, oh, hashtags don't mean anything. They mean something to brands. That's how they find you. That's how they find you. They're not sitting through necessarily all of the reels and that takes a lot of time. But if you are using their targeted hashtag that they have developed, they're going to see you. Like they have no choice but to, because they're monitoring that. So yes, hashtags do work. So I think there's so many gurus and so many people out there just pumping information at us of what you shouldn't do and what you should do. And just take everything with a grain of salt. If something is working for you and you feel like, you know what, I'm going to stick to this, stick to it. If somebody says hashtags mean nothing, if you believe that and that's what you want to rock with, then fine. But for me, they have worked and they're still working because I'm getting seen by people I want to be seen by. The tagging is working because people are getting in my emails that I didn't think would. So take everything you get with a grain of salt, because what's working for the masses might not work for you. And what is working for you may not work for the next person.
I think Instagram is hiring. I think they need to hire you. We get some of these videos going along on IG Reels. What were you going to say, Cherie?
So I just wanted to interject and backtrack for a minute, because back to the whole gifting conversation, because I completely agree that when you're first starting off, you should definitely accept gifting opportunities, because it does allow you to show brands what you can do and what they'll get from you. However, what do you say to the person who's been accepting gifting opportunities for a while? They've started to build their following. They have a following that actually trusts them, but they're still only getting gifting opportunities. And when they turn it down or try to turn that gifting opportunity into a paid one, it doesn't turn into one. So what do you say to those people, and what should they do? What would you recommend that they do moving forward to try to, secure paid opportunities?
Keep doing it. Keep being consistent. Don't be deterred. Don't be kind of, led astray, run amok, whatever you want to say. Keep at what you're doing. Like if you love what you're doing and it's showing in your content, they will come. Like I've pitched maybe twice. So nothing I've done on my page that was a paid campaign is something that, mind you, those pitches were not successful. So everything that's on my page, it's a paid campaign, I was approached. So, and nothing came, in the first week, first months, it just doesn't work that way. So I think if you're only here to be paid, it's going to feel hard. It's going to feel difficult, but you have to keep at it. And I think you'll find that if somebody really wants to work with you and they're approaching you with a gift, more times than not, if I say, you know what, I just don't have the capacity, do you have funds in your budget to pay me? They might say, well, you know what, we can give you $150. Sounds ridiculous. Fine. But you know what? If they're giving you a product that's worth more than that, and they're giving you $150 from a small business perspective, for them, that might be a lot, and they're really banking on you to be able to help their business grow. So I think we have to think about it, yes, from a selfish perspective, but also what am I offering these people that should make them feel like they need to invest in me? What am I giving the community, okay, that's now going to turn around and say, you know what, based on what she's done, I need to buy that. They need to see that in your content. They need to feel like, you know what, I'm not just going to give this girl this stuff or this guy this stuff and then nothing's going to come of it, or I'm really not sure. So you know what, let's just do a gift for now. You know what, you see what I put out here, okay? I can give you my stats and show you how many people click my links. I can show you how many sales are converting. Based upon that, I'm sorry, but I need to be paid for my time. I need to be paid for my effort and everything I put in, especially the company that you see can afford it. Smaller, boutiques, businesses, they're really just trying to get out there in front of people. And maybe the beginning is, I can give you a couple of outfits, can we make this work? And then from that, you know, if I sell out the outfits, then we need to have a different conversation the next time around if you want to come back, right? So
Yeah.
I think for each situation, you literally have to analyze each situation. I wouldn't approach everything from I'm not doing it. You know, like, start, okay, you know what? I really love what you guys are presenting. I love your product. I just don't have the capacity right now to do a gifted campaign. Is there a potential for me to be paid? If they hit you with the low figure, you know, that should, for me, I can kind of tell. I can read if they just don't have it, but they really want to work with me, and I'll respect that. I mean, some people, I honestly just want to support them too. I want to see them do well. Black-owned businesses, all that stuff. So for me, I literally take it one case at a time. And then I would also say, do not give up. I wish I could say who the company is that I mentioned earlier that I had been tagging relentlessly, but it's taken 2.5 years of time. So if I had said, you know what, screw them, they don't, you know, pay any attention to me, I haven't heard a word out of them, versus, you know what, I need to up my content game a little bit. I need to do something that's going to make these people feel like, okay, you know what, we do need to pay her because we see what she's producing. You know what I mean? So look, if I put out a 10-second reel that gets 4 million views, if I'm going to sell your hat, I need to be paid. I'm sorry. You know what I mean? So especially if you see it's consistent on my page. So come armed with your stats and show them, this is what I can do for you, and this is why I need to be paid. And if you can't pay me, all right, fine, I'll take the outfit and $100. But, you know, based on what we do here, we might have to have a different conversation if we want to move forward. You know, so treat everything like a negotiation. That's truly the advice I would give. I don't think there is a one-shot cookie cutter approach right now. We're in, like, I feel like we're the test case dummies for this industry because there's no guidebook. We're all trying to do whatever the hell to try to make this thing work. And someday there's going to be some book that we'll probably all be able to contribute to because we went through it. But right now, I think we just have to kind of, as you know, we're just playing with and seeing what happens and seeing what we can make work until, you know, finally we get to that place where people aren't even questioning. You know, it's like, all right, I'll just send you the gift. I'm not even going to ask. If you decide to do something with it, great. And then there's another group of people who will send you product and pay you and don't want you to post. They just want your raw content. So they're like, if you want to post, you can. You don't have to. But here, I mean, I got a whole wardrobe full of summer clothes and got paid. And they said, you don't have to post if you don't want to. We just want the raw content. So I sent them the raw content, got a whole bunch of really, really nice clothes, and I didn't have to post it. But I will because I like it. And I'm getting paid. So, and again, those are the emails where you might overlook it because you don't understand their approach. When they're emailing you and saying, hey, you know, we just want content. Will you be, you know, interested in that? And there's not a whole lot of details, so you don't know what's going on. And so you email them back and you say, you know what, I'd like to learn more. I'm interested in learning more about what you're, you know, what you're looking to do. Then they hit you with those details. And it's like, of course, I will take the wardrobe and be paid. Thank you. So I say all that to say, don't just automatically turn things down. Number one, if you don't understand it, or number two, if they're automatically not offering you money out the gate, because that shouldn't be your stop sign. I hope that was somewhat helpful.
No, that was definitely helpful. And what I'm hearing is just like shifting your mind into like having that business mindset. You know, ultimately now you're getting negotiations, contracts are coming in. Like this is something that people need to talk about. And I mean, as an attorney, do you have any tips for content creators when it comes to contracts and paperwork and things like that?
Yeah, I know that there's some attorneys out here, like they specialize in doing that. I know a few of us have worked with them, and I would suggest that if you are looking at a contract where there's a good amount of money involved, chances are they're going to be looking at using your content for perpetuity, which means forever. And you want to make sure that you're signing on to something that you're comfortable with. So if you're not comfortable with the language that you're looking at, you don't understand it, you don't get it, I would suggest, paying one of these attorneys who are focused on content creators. You don't want to just go to whomever and they charge you some exorbitant amount of money. I want to say Beverly Beal. I think she has a practice that focuses also on content creators. And I know a few people that have worked with her and that she's really good with helping them get their contract sorted out. So if you don't feel comfortable with what you're reading and there's some big words like perpetuity in there, then definitely have somebody review it for you so you understand what you're signing on to. You don't want to necessarily be paid $50 for images that are going to be used potentially forever. So yes, I would suggest having counsel review your contracts if it's something of that nature. Now, if they're just saying, hey, yes, we might use your images. We might not, here's $2,000. And you're like, okay, like it's good for you, then, by all means. But I think as you start to deal with bigger dollar amounts, you want to make sure that the contract is something, what you're signing on to.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much for that. Yes, indeed. Cherie, did you have another question?
It was in my head and it left, so I'll send it back. No, actually, no. This popped in my head, Kim, when you were talking about there's no guidebook to content creation. We're just, the test guinea pigs for this, which we are. And I think, Key, this was a conversation that you and I were having one time about content creators. So when you get into this space, you don't know what to do. You don't know. Like everyone's talking about, the algorithm is so unpredictable. You may do well, you may not. You see people that who are doing well. Sometimes you may get discouraged. Some people have had trouble finding their audience or knowing exactly what type of content they should post. And also the whole thing about paid opportunities. Once people get to a certain level as a content creator, they of course want to be able to be paid for the work that they've done, especially if they feel like they put out work that is decent enough to be paid for. But the thing is, Key, I don't know if you remember when we were talking about this, how it's like the world of content creation is very secretive. Like people feel like if they share things with you that you'll have one up on them. So they don't want to talk to you about how your following grew, like what were you doing exactly. They don't want to talk to you about maybe how they negotiated a contract. They don't want to talk about how much they get paid for different things. So you're just like walking through this, navigating this in the dark. You don't know anything. And people, I've seen videos of people saying like, I made this much money in Q1 and Q2. Mm-hmm. Oh, that's good and fine. But how are you making this money in Q1? That's what these creators want to know. But no one wants to share that type of information. And I just wanted to know, like, if you've come across that, like, before your following got to where it is now, maybe with reaching out to people because you had questions and not getting the answer that you needed, or not getting an answer at all. Because I know a lot of people are going through that. And I try to make a point of whenever someone reaches out through a direct message, if they have a question about anything that I've done, I have no need to like hoard information at all. I wouldn't want someone to me.
Right.
So
yes. That is the short answer. The short answer is yes, I have. I've had some disappointing experiences with that. People who I just thought would be different in the one-on-one DM experience based on what I saw of them, publicly. But quite frankly, I mean, for me, those experiences just said that, like, I need to work harder to find out what I need to find out. And some of it is just going to be case by case. And now I also know what that experience feels like. And I 100% will not be doing that to anybody. It's just also not who I am. Like, I am not here to compete with you. Like, I'm here to try to find success in my own little corner and in my own little way. And if something that I've learned along the way helps you get to where you need to a little bit faster because I've shared it with you, I don't mind doing that. And I don't quite understand why people struggle with that, because there's nothing that I'm going to learn from you that's going to stop your forward progress. Like, it's just not going to happen. People are there for you because of what you offer. We're not the same. So there's nothing I could do that would stop your forward progress because you've shared something with me. So, you know, myself and some other, you know, friends here that I've made, like, we're candid with each other about certain things. I won't put her name out there, but, you know, there's one person in particular, like, we will say, listen, X brand offered me such amount of money. What did they offer you? Because I see, you know, they coming to you too. And we talk about it, and it's not a problem. I mean, you know, I was kind of blown away by the fact that one brand paid somebody this amount of money and then paid me nothing. And I was like, wait a minute, you know, what just happened? But those are the relationships that you need to have, because it's like, you know, they're pulling the wool over your eyes and then, you know, taking care of somebody else. And there should be no reason that that would happen, you know? So we won't have that unless we talk to each other, unless we are supporting one another and pulling each other up and not looking at each other as competition. People have been all up in my DMs, and I tell them whatever I have experienced to tell them. If I don't know, I'm going to honestly tell you, I don't know. I just haven't had that happen yet. But from what I do, I mean, I'm happy to share and to say, you know, well, this is what has worked for me. It may not necessarily work for you. This is how I would approach that situation. This is what I would say to that brand, and see how things work, because you might find a different way that works better for you. But I'm not going to say, you know, we're in the same realm, we're in the same genre, I can't tell you what I know. Like, that doesn't make sense to me. Like, it just doesn't. So, you know, like, I've had people ask me about certain reels and, you know, why do I feel like certain reels of mine were successful? What do I think they could do to implement? And I would tell them, based on what I see on your page, I would do 1, 2, and 3. Like, why aren't you doing these things? Because clearly people like that about you. So I don't have a problem doing that. And I can't speak for why people do, but I think that us having those negative experiences and examples are what we should remember, because one day the tables will turn and somebody's going to be looking at you like, I need your help, or I want advice from you. Yeah. I want from you. What do you think I should do? And you don't want to be that person that gives them that experience that they're talking about on live. You know what I mean?
So true. You definitely want to keep an open mindset. And like you said, it's going to be, there's always someone behind you. How do you pay it forward? And this is the whole point of us building our community and teaching each other. I feel like for those, you know, and I feel like those conversations are coming out more where people are like investing in like empowerment workshops and they're not getting anything in return. That's the type of energy, like, they're just, karma's real, and I don't want to wish bad upon anyone, but when you just have those bad intentions of just taking and not giving, honey, that's on them. You know, you just know that you're going to be the content creator that's like, I'm going to do the opposite, and I'm going to help the girl that has questions or guy that has questions and just teach him along the way. Because you're always going to eat with that mindset. Always. You're always going to win. I
agree. 100%.
Well, with that being said, we're wrapping up soon. Did anyone have any questions? You guys, Kim, they're showing you so much love. I think I bring someone else to the table.
I wish I could see.
You can't see them?
I think I'm on a delay because I'm not seeing comments, but yeah.
Nikki said they think if I bring someone else to the table, they may not have enough food. It's sad. We all have a seat at this table. We just said it's $1 billion industry.
Yes.
Okay? Yes. We all have a seat at this table. If there's anything I've learned, I've definitely learned from you, Kim, is you spoke about like systems. Build your strategy. Create your strategy that feels good for you and that works for you, and just keep being consistent.
Stick to it. It may seem like you're not getting anywhere, but one thing I always tell people too, if you feel like you're putting out all this fire content and where are the people, you know what I mean? Do not stop putting out your fire content, because when they do find you, a lot of people go back through everything that you've done, checking you out, because a lot of these people, I have a reel out now that seems to be, you know, picking up some traction. And I see that people are going back through my content from like the last couple of weeks and, you know,
Wow.
liking. So clearly they want to make sure, you know, if I'm investing my follow in this person, I want to see, like, is this real, just, you know, a one-off? I want to see what she's doing. So that should let you know, like, you know, the capital that you've built is not for nothing. They're going to, like, she's about this, like, this is what she does, and this is what I'm going to get. So don't be discouraged if the people aren't seeing it, because when they do, they want to make sure that, you know, this is somewhere that they should stay. So keep doing it. Keep doing it. Don't stop.
Very well said. Thank you so much for being our first guest on the Bloggers Live.
Thank you for having me.
Oh my goodness. Thank you all for joining us, all the comments, all the love. Please be sure to be following Work Slay Play if you aren't. Cherie, do you have any last words for us?
Yeah, so just thank you all for joining. We'll be back here next month, the 4th Thursday of the month. I'm not sure what day that is yet. Same p.m. Eastern. If you want to follow me, I'm CB2 Styles here on Instagram, on TikTok, on Facebook, and I have a YouTube. Haven't started it yet. I'm trying, y'all. I got footage that I just can't manage to make myself edit yet. So that's coming soon. And yeah, thanks to all the people who joined. Thanks to all the people who like interact and engage with my content. I appreciate it. And yeah, that's it. And thank you, Kim, for joining.
You know, you guys know I'll be back next month in your comments. So.
All right, y'all. Y'all have a good night. We'll see y'all later.
You too. Bye.